150 years after Frenchman Samuel de Champlain first explored this area in 1609, a number of significant naval battles were fought on these very waters.
There's even a body of water that was known as Bloody Pond because of all the bloodshed that had surrounded it.
But Lake Champlain holds a special distinction amongst other lakes in this area, because it's said that once you venture beneath its surface,
you just may find a mysterious prehistoric creature lurking in its depths.
For centuries, locals have believed something inexplicable lurks in the lake, which lies on a similar latitude as Scotland's infamous Loch Ness.
Now, we all know about Scotland's resident water monster, Nessie, but could it be that we have one of our very own? Looks like it's time to go monster hunting.
We're starting our investigation on the southern shore of Lake Champlain, Port Henry, New York. It's been our experience that the best first stop is always with the locals.
And we're in luck because almost everyone in this town's got something to say.
I didn't see the head. It was long and probably around 18 to 20 feet long.
Have you seen Champ?
Yeah.
What did it look like?
Oh, he's a dark color. I don't know. Dark color.
Did you try and catch him?
I tried to get up closer to him. I didn't try to catch him.
What were you using for bait?
I didn't have no bait. I wasn't fishing. I just joyriding.
Hey, you don't believe in all this Champ business, do you?
Sure I do.
You do?
Yes.
Have you ever seen it?
I have never seen, but a lot of people have here. And I've tried my darndest, you know, and
yeah,
I know one of these
too.
days I'll see.
It seems believers are not hard to come by.
Well, maybe that's because, historically speaking, sightings are not all that uncommon. When the French explore the region in the early 17th century, they hear stories from Native Americans of a giant serpent hidden beneath the murky waters of Lake Champlain. According to our research, the local Abenaki tribe even gives the creature a name, Tataskak, meaning bigger than a big snake. More than 2 centuries later, consummate showman P.T. Barnum gets caught up in the Champlain creature craze. In 1873, he offers $50,000 for the hide of the great serpent to add to his World's Fair show.
Bounty hunters flood Lake Champlain in response to Barnum's offer, but no one can provide adequate proof of the monster's existence. It will take another 100 years and a Kodak Instamatic camera to uncover what many consider the greatest proof of Champ's existence.
When the picture surfaces, some say it is irrefutable proof that Champ exists, but others say it's a big fake. To inspect it ourselves, we tracked down the woman who took the famous photo.
Hi, I'm Sandra Manzi, and I've seen Champ.
Sandra, hi.
Yeah.
Mark, nice to meet you.
I heard you have a very famous photo to show us.
I do.
A one-of-a-kind, you might say.
One of a kind, and it is what it is.
So where did you take this photo?
I took that photograph on the Vermont side up north of St. Albans in 1977. We were in the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time, depending on my day.
So this was the only photo that you had an opportunity to take?
No, I could have taken many more.
And you didn't because?
You were afraid.
Afraid? You bet your buns I was afraid. Yes. I got caught up in the panic, and my 2 children were waiting in the water down there. I took the one photograph, and that's all.
So did you think you were crazy when you took this photo?
I did a very good job rationalizing that I got caught up in my husband's panic, and I'm sure it wasn't what I thought it was. And when we got in the car, everybody's really quiet, and my son said, "Mom, I know what it was." And I'm like, "Yeah, what was?" He says, "A 2,000-pound duck."
So did any scientists ever look at this photo and try to analyze it?
Absolutely. Lots and lots and lots of scientists. Yes, Kodak analyzed it and said it was definitely taken with a Kodak 110, and it was not doctored.
Although Sandra's tale is convincing, we need more than a fuzzy picture to be sure this beast exists. If we want to see Champ for ourselves, we'd better start looking.
But the lake is huge. It's over 120 miles long, 12 miles wide, and in certain spots up to 400 feet deep. It seems like a long shot, but we decide to give it a go.
The sightings have been everywhere. If you're lucky, you'll find it. You'll be in the right place at the right time. Take pictures and put a copyright on them.
You wish to have a boat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And stay close to shore. You know, I wasn't that far from shore.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get my camera.
I think we're on our journey.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
We head north up US 7 to Burlington, Vermont, to meet with New England author Joe Citro on board the Spirit of Ethan Allen. Joe's been writing about Champ and other New England folklore for the past 2 decades.
If anyone could tell us what we need to know about the monster of the lake, it's him.
So, Joe, you're the expert. What do you think's going on in this lake?
Well, there's no way to tell. You know, we can only go by reported sightings, and there are well over 300 of those.
So something's been going on here for a really long time, then, huh?
Yeah, they used to call it the Lake Champlain what's it? And then they call it the Champlain sea serpent.
And now people seem to be describing what looks like an aquatic dinosaur of sorts, right? Like a plesiosaur or one of the other varieties of that. Isn't that right?
Either a plesiosaurus or something of that ilk.
Champ has often been likened to a plesiosaur or a zeuglodon. Both are prehistoric water creatures said to have been extinct for roughly 37 to 65 million years.
And, according to our research, theories of large prehistoric creatures living in the lake area may not be that far-fetched. Primitive whale fossils were found a few miles from the lake in nearby Charlotte, Vermont in 1849.
Is there any similarities between the Loch Ness Monster and this monster?
There are many similarities. There are many similarities between the lakes. They're both freshwater lakes. They're both deep and long. They're both approximately on the same latitude. What the cryptozoologists call the monster belt.
If this is the monster belt, how come I don't see any monsters?
I'm looking over your shoulder right now.
Me too.
My eyes keep drifting out to buoys and the white caps.
I want to see something so bad.
Yeah.
I want to believe.
I do believe. I just want some proof now so I don't look like an idiot.
Joe goes on to tell us that discovery of a species long thought extinct is not completely unheard of.
Right. Within the past 100 years, proof surfaces for the existence of the megamouth shark and what's often referred to as the missing link, the coelacanth.
From fossil finds, we know it existed 300 million years ago.
So maybe the belief in this lake creature is not that crazy.
And we know there are prehistoric fish in the lake. Bowfin, gar, and even sturgeon were around back when this was a sea.
I mean, as fish go, those are some pretty primitive species of fish.
That's right.
And it's really odd to see all 3 of those in this one lake, and it makes you wonder about
what else
the right.
But there are plenty of skeptics who don't want to believe. To them, Champ is nothing more than an oversized lake sturgeon, a rock, or a floating piece of driftwood.
What about that they've seen a neck and a head raised 4 to 7 feet out of the water? I mean, that's certainly no sturgeon.
No, it could be other things, though. I mean, first we have to look at other possibilities. It could be a dog swimming. It could be a deer swimming.
It could be a log.
It could be a log, and it could be the critter.
But what about when 30 people see it on a boat like this, and they all have the same description?
Then we pay attention. The multiple witness sightings are very convincing.
And there was one, right?
Well, there were many. Probably the most recent was in 1984 aboard the Spirit of Ethan Allen.
This boat.
Wait a second.
And we're in luck. One of the guys on board was there that day. So we say our goodbyes to Joe and head to the wheelhouse to find out more about this incredible sighting.
Permission to come aboard, Captain.
Granted.